Monday morning. I know you hear Philly whistling. Right after he and I got married, we heard a sermon by Jensen Franklin called I Must. And it never left us. And interestingly enough, he just preached it again recently. So if you can go online and listen, you should, because it's really powerful. Gracious, we got a storm brewing. So that kind of fundamentally changed the way we kind of navigated our life. And so at the beginning of every year, we get alone with the Lord and we ask him what our I musts are for the year. And they change, you know, sometimes they're one thing, sometimes they're another. And this year for me, my I must is study more because I'm teaching more. So it requires a lot more of that. So that falls in line with my I must. And one of our I must as a husband and wife is to do ministry in our home, which looks like having people often. And it's been so helpful because when you have an I must, and we have ones that don't change, you know, how do we make sure our time with the Lord is guarded and protected? What do we do for our marriage? How do we see our family? How do we care for them? So there are some I must that don't change. But there are some that do. And the beauty of an I must is it gives you clarity to know what to say yes to and what to say no to. And sometimes it's hard to say no because people don't always understand why maybe you can't take that lunch or you can't have that dinner or you can't do certain things. And so people can't always understand, but it allows you to live with real clarity of purpose. And so it has just been a beautiful thing for our lives. And so it's been a real gift of clarity, a real gift of just kind of strategy, even as a ministry. Philly's singing, Gracie's playing with her toy. A place of clarity and strategy. So as a ministry, I know as a ministry what our I musts are in a world that every 5 minutes wants you to have a new opinion or a new direction. And so when times change and cultural things happen, I funnel the response of Reclaiming Hearts through the I must of Reclaiming Hearts. What is our I must? It was just a life-changing message for both Philly and myself. So as you're navigating this season, if it feels like your heart's fractured, your mind's fractured, where do I put my energy? Where do I put my time? I would encourage you, where do I put my voice? Like you think about social media and there's so many voices on social media and there's so much you could tweet about, respond to. How we do it, that's a completely different musing. But what do we respond to? Does that fall in line with our I must? So maybe as you enter this next week, today, spend some time asking the Lord to give you real clarity around your I must. What does he say your I musts are? Maybe from now to the end of the year. And then at the beginning of the year, ask him again. And listen and for his direction and for his purpose. Because I tell you, it is such a freeing thing to have. Every person, ministry, family, they look pretty okay, should have an I must. So I'd love you when you get one to put it in the comments, or if it's too private, you can email me at reclaiminghearts.org. I'd love to know how God leads you. So now to finish the other things I'm doing.